Hey Libra, it's Mama TPG from One Love, One Light Tarot. Welcome to your love story reading. I do apologize for the delay in getting this video out, but I do have to have the focus and be able to channel the energy. And with the holidays and everything, it just seems like it wasn't happening. So here we go. I'm going to start with an animal spirit to represent your energy, and then one to represent your connections energy, and then one to represent the energy of the relationship. If you're not in a relationship, then this is for whoever you have in mind. If it doesn't resonate, then check your sun, moon, rising, or Venus sign videos, or the sun, moon, rising, or Venus of your connection. And I do intend for your energy to be the closest one here, and then your connection over here, but the energies can flip-flop. So let's get started. Spirit guides, what is the energy for Libra in this love story? We have the starfish, and the starfish can be very much about absorbing energy from others, and it's a call to really coming into one with yourself, because it can be very difficult to place that kind of expectation on others to fulfill you. So it's really, this is water energy. This is either you or your connection, but there's a need to really go within and figure out what brings you fulfillment within yourself, and not so much looking for another person to fill your cup. All right, so what is the energy of your connection? More water energy. We have the beaver, and the beaver is, it's a very positive card, but it's also someone that is very associated with what they do for a living. So that's where they find their purpose. And so if you're dealing with someone that may have lost their job, this can be a not so great energy to deal with. But otherwise, it's somebody that's always has to be doing something, is very, it's like if they stopped, then they would have to think too deeply about their circumstances. So they're always doing something with their hands, or doing something, around the house, or, very busy with their job. So let's get the energy of your relationship. And we have the eagle. This is air energy, but this is about freedoms and having that connection to spirit to really operate in your truth. It's very truthful, honest energy, which is a beautiful energy for a relationship. But I see with both of you being kind of emotional beings, and then having this logical kind of headstrong energy as your relationship. This could be where you're looking at conflicts, or butting heads and so forth. But let's read what each says in the book here. Okay, so the first one is starfish. Sorry if it takes me a few minutes to find. They are not numbered or in alphabetical. All right, the starfish is beautiful, alluring, superficial, or shallow. The starfish is a natural and exquisite beauty, mesmerizing to all. Being around someone with starfish energy is a thrill, like you've been put under a spell of divinity itself. The problem is these creatures have been reliant on how they look and what other people think of them for so long that they may have forgotten their deeper callings. When this card appears, it's important to ask, am I being swayed by outward appearances? What dreams have I put aside to please others? So when in balance, it's uplifting, artistic, and expressive. And when out of balance, it's gossips and feels empty. And the emptiness comes from really feeling the closest thing that you felt as a starfish to fulfillment is the adoration from others. And that can be, what do they call it? A slippery slope. Because if that is absent, if you're not feeling healthy, and so you are not focused on your outward appearance, and you're not alluring others, then you would feel empty inside. So there's obviously a quite clear message of what may need to be worked on there. So let's see what the beaver has to say. I think that was just a couple pages back here. Okay, no, it's a couple pages forward. Okay, here we go. So the beaver energy is a hard worker, loyal, tireless, and family first. So the beaver personality is a welcome sight. These good-natured and dependable creatures have infinite love and enthusiasm for family and express it by way of the earth element, providing a home and financial stability. Although a beaver doesn't usually initiate a project, once started, they'll work steadily for weeks, months, or years to see it through. The beaver card appears when the task at hand requires your long-term, steady effort. It can also signify that it's time for some karma yoga, which is selfless service. When in balance, happy and meaningful work. When out of balance, feels useless or worn out. And so this could be somebody that's had some type of long-term project or something that has been taking their attention away from you. Okay, and this could have caused some thoughts of, are we going to make it? Can we keep moving forward in the same energy? And I feel like, no, you can't. So what has to happen is that the priority for this beaver is to work together with this starfish to move forward. And the starfish has to understand their own value and recognize that it's not just about how others see them as their value. Okay, so let's do this eagle energy. Okay, let me find it. Again, I'm sorry if it takes me a long time. Here we go. Okay, eagle, all-pervading power, truth seeker, transforms karma. The noble eagle emanates the light of the sun. This great bird is both physically and spiritually strong and represents mastery over the elements of fire and air. When the eagle appears, you'll soon be thrown into the karmic fire for the sake of your transformation. The eagle pushes us to be our best and brightest selves and stops at nothing to see us shine. Grasp the sun in your talons and hold on for the ride. You are stronger than you think, eagle child. When in balance, they're bright, radiant, and challenges. And when out of balance, they are controlling. So I feel like this is really the opportunity for you to shine with each other. Okay, why is this beaver so far back? It wasn't for the other readings. Sorry about that. Let's just put it here. Okay, so I do see that there is huge potential for this to be a very liberating relationship. And so let's get more to the story here. What is the story for the starfish? And like I said, the starfish can be you or the other person in this connection. And maybe you have qualities of each. So it may be that, you interchange each other. But I do feel like this is saying that you bring out the best in each other. All right, so let's see here. What is the story for this starfish? We have the Three of Pentacles. We have the Eight of Pentacles. And we have the Hermit. Could be dealing with a Virgo. Let's get the beaver's energy. We have the Star. This is so funny to me. We have, two came out. We have Strength, and we have the Five of Wands. And then let's get the story, the love story here. We have the Mother of Swords, Queen of Swords energy. We have the Six of Pentacles. And the Chariot. Okay. Let's see here. Okay, so for the Three of Pentacles, the Eight of Pentacles, and the Hermit, this is the starfish story here. And it's how they feel about the work they are doing or what they are contributing to this relationship. And so with the Three of Pentacles, I get that there's been challenges, but that you have built together, and it's something that you're trying to master. It may not be, it may not come as second nature to you. And I feel like what this is saying is that there is a level of fear here. There is this idea that you may need to retract and just be within yourself. So as far as romance goes, these cards, how they come out, with that, I'm feeling like the Three of Pentacles is, there may have been some type of energy that was coming in between you, some type of wall that was coming between you. And this could be an actual wall. It could be, your neighbor, or there's some type of wall that was coming in between you. It could have been a person, a third party. It could be a job, like I was saying, with the beaver being very focused on whatever it is that the current project that they have going on. With the Eight of Pentacles, it's like we're really being told not to force the issue, okay? But because this is something that's not coming to you by nature, it's like Spirit is saying don't force this wall to come down. It has to come down naturally. And then with the Hermit, when it comes to romance, is really talking about loving yourself first. And that is what we talked about with the starfish. It's about figuring out what brings you fulfillment within yourself, and not expecting or demanding or having that expectation from someone else to make you feel fulfilled, right? And I think that's something that I've talked about in a lot of my readings. So it's something that I struggle with as well. It's that codependency that we all have, I think, by nature, but it's not natural, okay? It's how we've been programmed to, even by music, all the music talking about, you broke my heart, you left me feeling empty. No, it's all within you. So then you're responsible for everything that happens in your life, in your heart. All right, so then I laughed when the star card came out, because I feel like the starfish does look to this beaver as their star, as their healing grace, right? And they also see them as being in the spotlight. But this is what brings this starfish fulfillment. So they are looking for that in another. So that's very clear to me. And then there's strength here, which is talking about inner strength. And then maybe some competition. Maybe there's more than one person, or there's something that's pulling away from their energy. Okay, it's struggling or fighting for attention as well. It could be within them. It could be within themselves. There are things that need to be addressed or focused on, and that whatever that is, if it's a broken heart, if it's a wounded inner child, whatever it is battling for attention within them. And then to have this Queen of Swords, which is exactly what I see as the eagle, and they represent it as an owl, but I see the Queen of Swords as being that eagle, as being very focused on truth and honesty, and even when it hurts, that's what's necessary. And we have as the center of the reading the Six of Pentacles, which is, it can be about there being an imbalance, but it's all about balance and getting whatever you put in, you're also getting out of the relationship. And the Chariot at the bottom, which is really talking about fast movement and being guided and protected by the divine. But it can also talk about being over emotional. And I see you both as being very emotionally connected. And it's allowing yourself to go with the flow, allow there to be plenty of emotion, but not trying to fight against it. Okay, so sometimes that emotion is anger. Sometimes that emotion is, romantic attraction. Sometimes that emotion is sadness. And going with the flow and allowing it to carry you to wherever it is that this relationship, which feels like a river, is taking you, if that makes sense to you. So, yeah, so let's see, what is the lesson that you are meant to learn from each other? Spirit, what is the lesson they're working on together? Okay. We have earth, nurture, nature. So I do see that when we're talking about the two energies, they're both water energy, very emotional, intuitive, and natural to them. And then we have this eagle, which it said is the master of fire and water. I mean, fire and air, which is, your drive, your inspiration, and your logical. It's the master of those two. And so we didn't have Earth come out until we get here. So I feel like this is what you're working on, is how do you lay down roots? How do you connect with each other and build a foundation? That is the lesson that you are meant to learn from each other. But let's read what the book says here. Number 14. So it's kind of what's been missing in both of your lives is really a sense of foundation, a sense of home, a sense of laying down roots. Okay, so that's what's really you are meant to learn from each other. And if you've been in a long-term relationship, then this is where you're at right now, is how can we further fortify our foundation. Okay, so it says, no one can hold us the way nature can. Mama Nature is a powerful healer and transmuter of dense energies we may be holding on to. Just as she shakes in our breath, or just as she takes in our out breath and returns our bones to fertile soil, so too can she transform our woes if we can allow ourselves to surrender, to lie in her grassy arms or be embraced by her branches. Just as plastics and oils cannot be broken down in the earth for renewal, when our emotions become hardened and impenetrable, catalyzed into something more destructive, they cannot be transformed into the compost that we grow from. Experiences we may categorize as good or bad are a part of life. Death and rebirth are part of the natural cycle that allows for the continuation of life. Creating something through suppression and control that will not break down will only bring us further out of harmony. Nature is all around us. Notice her and know that when you feel like no one else can hold you, she can. Spend as much time in nature as possible and do what you can to preserve it. And I know that this has come up, this need for that, need to be grounded, need to be out in nature has come up a lot as an issue for people in 2020 because of, COVID and the lockdown and so forth. But I feel like there's a need to really make it priority of getting out in nature individually or together or both. All right, so what is the lesson that this starfish energy is learning within themselves? We have friendship. Nurture your relationship. So this is about being, having that balance within relationships of giving and taking. So I feel like for the starfish, they're all about either taking or giving and not both. So I feel like that is what's really something that you, if the starfish energy is you, it's something you're learning to do. What is the beaver working on? We have Angel of Miracles. Open your heart and expect a miracle. So this is coming out with this star card here. I feel like there is some magic missing for this beaver. They may be in a situation where they didn't believe that they would ever have true fulfillment or ever have the type of relationship that they've been desiring their whole life. And there's, it could be for any number of reasons. It could have been, some of the things that they've done in the past that they need to come to terms with and forgive themselves in order to be open to miracles happening. So it's about forgiving themselves, forgiving others, and recognizing that those were all things that had to happen in order to bring them to this point. And that's quite a beautiful thing. All right, so let's see what's going to happen next within this love story. What is next for this story for Libra? We have Judgment, Angel of the Past. Oh, lots of cards down. Hold on one second. Too many cards. Okay, what else? We have the Four of Cups, Indifference. And we have the Fool. So right off the top, I get this, definitely the divine is intervening. With Judgment, this is them intervening. This is the divine bringing a look to the past in order to really harvest everything that you learned to carry it forward. And I feel like there's also been some type of opportunity that the divine has been trying to show you or both of you, and you haven't seen it because you've been wrapped up in other issues that you've been working through. The Fool is all about trust, and this is the angel of innocence, and this is all about having faith, knowing that you may be walking into the unknown, but having faith nonetheless. But as far as romance goes, Judgment is really about reunion. So this could be a reunion within yourself or a reunion with this partner. The Four of Cups is talking about having those reservations, a little bit of fear involved with pursuing this relationship. And then the Fool is all about letting go of all those things that might be holding you back and just fully diving into this relationship. And that's where I see this going here. So let's get some guidance to close this out from the Guardian Angels. Guardian Angels for Libra. What is the closing guidance? We have encouragement. Your love is invaluable to the earth and to those around you. Even though you may not always see the positive effect your love has on others, trust, for it does. Each time you offer love through a loving gesture, thought, or word, you plant a seed of love, and love always generates more love. Trust and continue your loving work. Absolutely beautiful. Thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate it. And remember, the universe has your back, and so do I. Take care.